Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Ciao. The new Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got Cynthia and Kenya looking like the aunties for real. This gonna take some adjusting. These new tight-faced girls are here. Yes, they are tight-faced. One looks like Lil Kim, or she's on her way to looking like Little Kim. You know who I'm talking about. Dennis is the menace, being messy, and Drew is meddling. Ciao. Ciao. And I heard Shamia on Watch What Happens Live. Now Dennis trying to hit her up to play Reginae's mama in an upcoming movie he's about to cast. Ciao, are you the hot dog man or are you Tyler Perry or Jermaine Dupri? What are you doing, Dennis? Well, welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha and get into another episode of The Real Housewives, season 16, episode 2, Hot Dogs and Hot Mics. Do we like the title of this episode? You know, we get it. It's about Drew and Dennis, or Dennis and Drew, whatever. Um, we may change it, we may not. It's so much to unpack right now. We don't have time to be changing episodes. But how would you rate this week's episode? Let's see. I was entertained, but it's just gonna take some getting used to. But I'm here for it. We got a lot to unpack. There are new people, so I gotta kind of go slow just so I can just unpack these new personalities. Okay. So while we do that, please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on so you know each and every time I post my content. And I didn't even go ding dong, but ding dong. Okay, so Portia, we need you to answer the question. You know, this is a to be continued episode from last week. We need you to answer why you take that lady's man, that lady's husband. She never answers. Shamia takes it, turns it on Drew, and then Portia runs with that. Okay? Dennis has always been a slime ball. I always wondered, ooh, what was it about Dennis that made you, ooh, like Portia? PJ is beautiful. That's your baby. I'm not talking about her. But I know you have to regret messing with Dennis. It's just like, oh, he is so petty. He got a lot coming for you. I think he's still mad at you from, remember when Portia had her spinoff show where she went on vacation and had Dennis there with Simon and trying to make Dennis be in this co-parent triangle. I think he still, he has it for her. He is so petty. Okay, so let's start off. So Shamia is like, you know what? I heard, talking to Drew, I heard from 3 different people that y'all were booed up in matching outfits at your birthday party, blah, blah, holding hands. And Drew, this is all she go, holding hands, matching outfits. All she do is ask you what you just said. She don't answer, right? Until she get cussed out. Whew. So then Portia was like, yeah, Portia says she was talking to Dennis one night, and then he was like, yeah, come to Drew's birthday party. But she said she had just washed all her makeup off, so she wasn't going back outside. She went on downstairs and made some dinner, and that was that. Excuse me. Then she saw a picture of Drew like the next day, and she said Portia said that Drew looked washed. And everybody's like, washed? Like, why would you say that? Like, Drew is a beautiful woman with makeup and without makeup. We've seen her around her house last season or two. She looks pretty, she looks good. I've also seen Portia without her makeup on, okay? And she has no right to talk about anybody else. Even Portia knows she can't go outside without makeup on. She took her face off and she was like, nope, I ain't going outside. How dare you talk about another woman's beauty when you can't even go outside without, you couldn't even put the lashes back on and put on some lip gloss? You needed a whole beat, a whole new beat to go outside, calling somebody washed. Then she tried to change it. I mean, stressed. Y'all know that look when you going through a divorce, girl. No, you know that look. Aren't you on your, what is this? Your second? You on your second divorce? Who is you talking? I guess you're talking to Cynthia and Kenya. I mean, yeah, Drew's going through a divorce, so is Kelly and blah blah blah. But no, Anyway, Drew is like, girl. Okay, Drew looks good. Okay, so Portia called Drew and asked, well, are you okay? That's what she said. I called you and asked you, was you okay? And da, da, da. Drew brought up Dennis, but she didn't tell Portia anything about them working together. So I'm like, well, why did she bring his name up? What did she say? Portia's like, I don't care. I don't care. Shamia's like, y'all was holding hands at this party. Like, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Stop lying. Drew be lying too. So Drew says Dennis reached out to her management when she opened up for Tamar Braxton to host an after party. After the concert, you got to have an after party. And so he did a professional pitch about working with Drew on her music. And so, Drew got the nerves to sit here in Portia's face and say that Dennis is the angel, her angel on earth. Girl, if that don't sound like some in love stuff, what are you saying? Okay. But with all I'm going through, I haven't been able to talk about it. So I go into the studio and I sing about it. And so Kelly in her confession was like, girl, did y'all do it or not? Like, get to the point. What's going on? And so Drew was like, I've been trying to reach out to you, Portia, but you've been busy. I'm excited for you to hear my music. And, I asked him, has he talked to you? And he was like, whatever. And so she's like, music is my therapy. And we like, music is your therapy or the hot dog man is your therapy, honey? Huh? So she said Dennis is like a brother to her. He cool with Ralph and all that. And so she needed him to record. He asked her to record a song that was about Portia and Dennis. She was like, that man loves you, girl. He was in the studio crying, and I'm just trying to stay out of that, about what y'all got going on. I don't want nothing to do with that. Girl, but you all in the mix. This is called meddling. You know what I'm saying? You're meddling. So she said, I don't want you to think that there's something going on. Well, we already do. Kelly wants you to tell us yes or no, because we already figuring it out. You're allowing us to figure it out. You're not answering us. Well, I guess you are on your way. So Portia's like, I've done nothing but root for you, Drew. I asked you to be an ambassador for my hair care line. But my problem with you is you are a low down, dirty individual. Wow, says the woman who went to her associate's house and straight up stole her husband out of her own girl. But she said, but you know what I'm talking about? And you got the wrong one. Don't mess with me. You got the wrong one. Girl, anybody's scared. Well, Portia do like to fight. Be careful, Drew. So Drew was like, what did I do? What did I do? Drew's an actress. Is she going into her role? What did I do? Portia's like, is a producer here? She asking Bravo. Any producers here? Because I need to break the fourth wall. So we thinking we getting ready to hear some tea. And so they said, yeah, break it. So she said, you asked Dennis to film with you on this here platform. And I'm like, that was breaking the fourth wall? Okay, I guess. So production asked Portia, is it upsetting because Drew is a friend that you cared for? And I didn't think that question was quite what needed to be asked. If you was going to ask Portia a question, it was a little watered down. Portia's like, nope, it ain't that deep. I'm peed off because she's sneaking around trying to film with him. She's going through a divorce, stressed, you know. Portia talking about she's going through a divorce, she's stressed, and now she got to deal with her baby daddy. So pretty much what she said too is like, they cool when they cool, but when they not is what does she call herself? Is it Petty Portia? Something Portia, and then it's Dennis the Menace. So Kelly, she said, girl, he's serving more than hot dogs, honey. So Portia says, then you call my production company and you setting up a photo shoot for Go Naked. She said, are you insane? And I was like, what? So Portia was like, you're just an influencer. You don't like I don't no one needs you to do a photo shoot. That's not your call. That's Portia's call. She said you had a contract to just wear the hair. I was like, oh, okay. She cleared that up. Kenya is lost. Auntie Kenya is lost. Portia calls Drew an awful slimy bitch. Okay. And she put an F bomb in there too. Britt is about Dennis. Britt is like, is this about Dennis or the photo shoot? She asking Kenya. Auntie Kenya said Dennis. Shameen was like, y'all want some birthday cake? She like, back on the elevator, down we go. So on the way to the elevator, Portia is telling Drew, you stabbed me in the back. You're playing a game. You won't win. And so they're outside. Drew says, Portia just want to be mad at me, and I agree. And then Shamee and her in her confessional, I need some water. She tells us, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to be happy in this moment. Her surrogate has breast cancer. Her youngest baby has a lot of health issues. They have an in-home nurse. And so she said, I just want some cake. So they're outside at the pool. Everyone jumps in with their clothes on. The DJ's pumping up the music, and it's just suds all over the place. Oh, that looks like so much fun. And you guys, I don't know if you've ever been on vacation at your resort. I believe the resort is called Breathless, right? Breathless, I believe. They have a lot of sud parties. I don't know if they call sud parties or foam, whatever. Oh, it's such a good time. Such a good time. So over at Angela and Charles's home, and Charles is fussing because he came into the kitchen. He trying to cook and the kitchen was dirty. Her daughter apologizes. She's drinking wine. Ask him, do he want some? He said, men ain't supposed to drink sweet wine only when they out the country. Okay. Now, are we going to talk about Angela's nose? Because I gave her the benefit of the doubt last week. But we need to talk about this nose. I'm hearing that they call it the 1990s nose, like it's a old-fashioned nose. Someone on Watch What Happens Live, Shamia, called it the Jacksons. But, all of these girls got work done. I'm telling you that this is the tight face crew, okay? So we find out about them because last week, she was just a friend of Seem Like. So we get into her life this week. So she has 2 kids. He has 1 son, and they share a daughter. I believe she's like 7. And his son is a junior, of course. They have a 7-year-old daughter together. They met at a party. They exchanged numbers, and nothing happened. So then 10 years later, they meet up again because they live in the same condominium building. And that's how they met. And it was like, oh, hey, what's up? Now, baby, Miss Angela has her own money, honey. She's coming to the table with $1 million and something, okay? She owns a financial consulting company. Right now, she has 5 homes she's trying to renovate and flip. She's stressed out. It's a lot. So he just in the kitchen fussing. They talking about her and her daughter talking about what happened at Shamia's party. He just Oh, I want to hear about that. Oh, X is this, X that. You worked with an X before. No, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, you're right. Okay. But I would never. That's so lame. Okay. Why are you talking about them? Ugh. Be a leader, not a follower. Okay, Charles. Where is the Charles that I was seeing on the commercials with Lisa Ray? They in the kitchen cooking and she want to eat all his food. He was so nice, so demure. Now Charles look like now he in there acting like an old grumpy old man. And he one of them dudes, you just gotta let him talk because he just gonna ramble and fuss. He don't mean nothing, but he just gotta be heard. I guess this is coming off the backs of playing with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. I guess he never had a voice on the court, so now he just walk around fussing about everything. But he was in the kitchen cooking. She said he cleans and he cooks, so he's a keeper, okay? So Portia and Kenya, Auntie Kenya, they meet for lunch. Remember they used to fight all the time. Remember? So now they say, look, they're older now, they're mothers. They kids, I think their daughters are like the same age. So it just makes sense to be cool now, especially when you're on a show and y'all the OGs. Right. So Portia says, she met with Drew a few days before the party. Remember, she took Brooklyn over there to play with Drew's daughter. And so she said that Drew mentioned Dennis and the music. And so she was like, you remember when she said Dennis, Portia's Dennis? And so Drew said Portia gave her blessing. And, remember Kenya was like, what? So Portia's like, I don't know what she be doing. So I just go along. She play along to get along. But she said what's upsetting is Drew's trying to film with him on this show. She said her and Dennis are on and off, and when they not cool, he turns into Dennis the Menace, the messy old menace. So Kenya is like, well, what about Simon, child? Enough about that. So she said he be lying. She said they was on a jet once, and honey, it got surrounded by the police when they landed. I'm like, girl, I would have filed for divorce that day. Why is the police following us? And why? What's going on? So then she said he was sitting in the car that was stolen. What is going on, Simon? Jesus. So, man, Simon is a scammer. They done got married. He done been married 4-5 times. It's some credit card fraud going on, bank fraud going on, a possible deportation, a fake marriage somewhere. Child. And so Portia says when they filed for divorce and she went to her mom's, she was checking the cameras because they still had one in the living room. And honey, he had other women over. So she just like, I'm good. This is just a mess. So she said she thought Simon was her person because when she was writing her book talking about all her pain from her previous relationships, he told her she was safe with him. Ooh, just a scam. And I guess, Portia, this might be what your karma looks like, honey. And it came quick because they was only married for 15 months, I believe. So over with Kelly, we're going to look at another location for Nana's. And she will not make her grand opening date. She only has short of a month. This place needs a lot of work done. It's too much to do. Her team came to help to tell her, look, it's not going to happen. She's like, well, let's make it happen. Okay, push the date back then. Give her till September, I guess. She need permits. She need this. She need that. She need architecture. She need licenses. She need food. She need distribution. Child, it's a lot. Okay. So over at Britt's house, we meet Mike. Oh my goodness. Oh, we meet Mike. And last week I was like, who do Mike look like? And I came up with what I remembered. Hold on, y'all. Mike looks like his name is Brad James. He was Todd in For Better or For Worse, Tyler Perry's TV show. It was like a spinoff from Why did I get married? He was a guy that worked at the TV station with the fellas, with Angela's husband. I can't remember his name, but that's who he reminds me of. I was like, he reminds me of, that's his name, Brad James. So we meet Mike. So when she launched, this is how they met. So when she launched her insurance agency, he was a client of hers, but they couldn't date. She wasn't going to date, her work, her clients, so whatever. They just were friends. They went to Vegas. She said, I ain't giving you none. He was like, fine, whatever. They had a great time, and then she came back home and she had to rethink what she was thinking. Okay. So they went on down to the courthouse, got that marriage certificate, and they got married on Zoom because this was in the middle of the panorama, the C19, the PP loan, the unemployment era, the we ain't got no toilet paper era, the I'm sick, wear a mask era. You remember 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. So they just got married on Zoom, honey, because to her it was more important to be married than have a wedding. So they're talking about renovating this home that they're in to get her dream home. And she wants her mom to move in because they want to work on having a baby. And he's just telling her, you're so planny. Everything got to be planned out. Why stuff just can't just go with the flow? And she's like, because we are adults and we're trying to have a baby. So they want to do IVF so they can plan to have a girl because he has a 15-year-old son and he wants to be a girl dad. He doesn't, a lot of people I've read comments, he just doesn't, they don't seem to have chemistry. She's more excited than he is. He says some things like, she said, I love you. He said, love matters. And maybe they'll say, oh, he's not comfortable with the cameras because he's acting like Greg from Potomac. He's giving that. But yeah, I don't know. He needs to get with it. We'll give him time. We're going to give these people a little grace, okay? Because they got to be in love. He got to be, even though he acting a mess on TV. So Shamia goes to visit her surrogate mom at her office. They met through Candy. She was Candy's surrogate too for Blaze. She owns a surrogacy agency with Dr. Jackie. And so she had breast cancer. So she had it while she was pregnant with Shamia's daughter. So they talk about just, how it felt. Did did the baby have it? Is that why she has medical problems? And so Shamia really feels connected to her because of her carrying her daughter. And so they said no, that the breast cancer had nothing to do with the daughter's, health issues. So it did not complicate it. Shamia tried to get pregnant last year and her tube erupted. And that is a very painful thing to go through. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And, blessings to you, Shamia, because she wants to grow her family. Her husband spoils her to the bone, and she wants to do this for him. So she says she has 4 embryos. She has 2 girls and 2 boys in the freezer. Okay. He wants more kids. So the surrogate says she will find her a perfect match for her. No problem. Great. So, honey, Britt and Mimosa visits Cha Cha and Kelly. These are their dogs, their dog moms. They met a year ago and they clicked. Okay. So Britt is planning a ceremony, something small and elegant for her wedding because, they got married on Zoom. So they talked about all the drama at the party. All right. So they talked about how Portia was 3 hours late. How Portia was going in on Drew and how Auntie Cynthia asked, they told them that they were starting drama, with Kelly asking, why did she take that lady's husband? They going through all the things. So Kenya was asking about Britt's wedding ring too, all that. And so Britt said, worry about your own divorce. Don't worry about my ring. And it's like, I'll say this again. Why are you looking for a wedding band with a solitaire? That ring is so big. It's 10 carats. Like, baby, She don't need a band. It won't even look right. That rock is so big. It's a rectangle rock. What kind of band? You wouldn't even see it. Because I'm assuming it will have to. Where is it gonna go on top of the? Never mind. Kelly then Kelly then shares that her ex, you know, took or stole a $500,000 out of their company's account, and how she had to file a lawsuit and try to get her money back, and how their divorce, the situation really got physical. She was sleeping in her closet. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just so bad when a divorce turns into war. She had to call the police. You know, she said it was a house of HELL. I really dislike that for her. That's a scary period. It's scary. It really is. Um, but I'm just like, how can you just take $500,000? Like, if we have a joint account and the money somewhere, and this in both, it should be in both of our names. I want it to be to where we both have to sign for that money. One person cannot just go withdraw $500,000 out of an account without the other signature, honey. We're not doing that. We're not going to be stealing from each other. Hold on. Okay. So Angela meets Drew at the gym, honey. Drop it with Drew. Psych. They've been friends for 3 years. They're both Chi-Town girls. And so here's the question. Drew, why are we working with him? It's like, why Dennis? We live in Atlanta. You got Candy. You got Jermaine Dupri. You got Jazzy Faye. You got LaFace Records. You got Brian Michael Cox. You got London on the Tracks. Dallas Austin even what's her name? Kim Zolciak was working with him. It's like you could have been signed to so many others. I Googled all the producers in Atlanta. Trust me, besties, there's a gazillion of them. A lot of people I never heard of before, but granted, they're producers, not performers. But girl, the hot dog man. So she said she'd been signed to so many legends, and her music didn't get off to where she wanted it to be. It never rose to the occasion. So Dennis is gonna do it. So the hot dog man can do it. So he came with an offer, honey, and she didn't say no. Dennis has been very supportive of her and Ralph. You remember he's her play brother, blah, blah, blah. So she's trying to stay above water. Okay, just say that. I'm desperate right now. Ralph Child is trying to take everything that ain't bolted down to the floor. He's living in the basement, but he is coming for her money. He wants child support, spousal support, support. He want everything. So just say, I'm in a desperate space right now. Okay. Then Shamia joins them and they working out. And so she wants to put Dennis to rest. Like, can we let that go? So she was like, what's up? So Drew was like, well, Dennis has 30 records with me. And, they got Ralph's and Portia's blessing. That's what I thought. And so Shamia was smirking like, girl, no. So Angela going in on Shamia, asking questions for Portia. Why are you asking questions for Portia? So they have a back and forth and back again, honey, because, honey, Miss Angela says she is standing at 6 feet tall. She ain't letting, she's coming for you, okay? Drew says if you look up a lap dog, you'll see Shamia. Shamia on Watch What Happened Live said, well, honey, she said, what was Cha Cha? That lap dog is living the best life. You saw Cha Cha was dipped in hot pink and bows and butterflies and ribbons. And so she said, honey, if I could live like Cha Cha, then roof, 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 roof. I said, okay, girl. So Portia and Dennis meet at a little playhouse for Pilar. She get to climb the wall and run and jump and slide and all that. So she asked him about him and Drew. And so he said it's business, and so, they share similar things like to create on music because they both, whatever. Dennis, what are you talking about? Well, remember, he's crying about Portia. He said he didn't really feel like he had to tell her everything of what's going on with him. You know, Ralph is my homeboy. Now what? And so Portia was like, well, you know, Drew's saying something different. And I'm like, well, did she? Was she? And she kept saying, well, she's saying something different. Was she, Portia? So he was like, I would never touch Drew. And so she's like, she's saying something different. So he said, you think I'll be banging Drew? That's what you think? And so she's like, filming with my baby daddy on my platform. And he like, yeah, to promote her music. She said, now you making me mad. Don't do that. Where's the loyalty? I have no support. So Portia walks off. She's crying. She in the bathroom. They like, do you want to tell him what you need to say? And she like, he don't deserve my tears. He don't deserve my tears. But you in here crying, and he knows that's what you doing. Just by the way you walked off. So he asked her, what's wrong? And so, you know, she was like, don't show up on these cameras with another housewife. Child, Portia about to get activated, honey. So Portia, it's just like, baby, Portia, are you afraid that your karma is spinning the block again? You know what's going on with you, honey. And so she's trying to tell him, you rep us, we family, do it, and it's gonna be a problem. I was like, oh, it's about to get activated. Okay, I think I got everything out. I did, I think. Did I cover everything from Watch What Happens Live? Girl, yeah, I guess I'm good. So, yeah, that was it, besties. That was the recap. We finished. We made it through. I made it through. I made it through. I thought it was going to take more time because, baby, it was a lot. And these girls are new. We got to unpack it slowly, you know, to get comfortable with their names and their personalities and their looks. But, besties, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I bring you what you need, make you laugh. That's Kiki Las Haha. Like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure your notification bell is on. Cause I'll be back with another recap. Married to Medicine, the season finale. Bye, besties.